Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the main news on Camnet TV, coming to you live on Topstar channel 106 on Kenstream app. We are also streaming live on Facebook, Camnet TV, as well as our YouTube channel, Camnet TV. Here are the top stories making headlines in our news tonight. ECONOMIST 100 kwacha notes. Energy expert urges ZESCO to increase power supply during winter. ZACA warns against consuming infected meat as East Coast fever kills cattle in CHONGWE. In international news, President Ramaphosa embarks on U.S. visit amid diplomatic tensions. And in sports news, Vice President Keith MWEEMBA welcomes 2025 Under-17 COSAFA champions. I will be back with the details shortly after this break.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Television, not just another channel.
With the news in detail, my name is Sylvia Zulu. The United Party for National Development, UPND, has called on the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, CCPC, to ensure that suppliers of goods and services adjust their prices downward in response to the recent appreciation of the kwacha against the US dollar. Speaking to the media at the Anderson Kambela Mazoka House, UPND Presidential Support System Media Director Frank Bwalia said it would be unjust for suppliers to maintain high prices despite favorable economic conditions. He described the failure to reduce prices as a form of consumer exploitation and emphasized the government's commitment to protecting citizens from unfair market practices. Mr. Bwalia noted that the government has implemented various measures aimed at stabilizing the economy and facilitating reductions in commodity prices, particularly following the kwacha's recent gains.
We are calling upon the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, CCPC, and all relevant government and civil society organizations to do more in ensuring that our people feel the impact of the increased resilience that is being recorded in our economy. Against this background, we are very impressed by reports coming from some areas, the latest Livingstone, our tourist capital, where prices of goods have been going down, including that of meal, sugar, and other commodities. We wish to see this replicated throughout the country. However, it is our considered view that producers of these goods and services, who are usually quick to increase prices of goods, may not do the same this time around, unless organizations and other relevant institutions do more to ensure that they don't exploit our people. Therefore, we make a passionate appeal to CCPC and all those concerned to ensure that our people are not subjected to unjustified high prices of goods, especially those essential goods.
economist Kelvin Chisanga has called on the Bank of Zambia to timely release new 100 kwacha notes to help stabilize currency movements and reduce the risk of counterfeit circulation. He notes that although the use of the 100 kwacha has reduced by about 5%, the denomination still dominates most cash transactions across the country. Mr. Chisanga says the 100 kwacha and is displaced frequently by self-service machines.
100 kwacha use has actually ignited some reduction in terms of percentage in the way that we are actually able to see from the previous patterns of circulation. The current level is that it has reduced by relatively about 5%, which is actually a recommendable aspect in terms of trying to see the improvement at picking up that shape. But again, also the biggest factor here is that 100 kwacha should actually be able to be produced where even before the stipulated time, which is actually September. So it's important that maybe that need to be tackled as soon as possible, so that we avoid the current special dominant that has actually been able to be subjected to. What we need to do is to basically look at a way in which this 100 kwacha note should be able to have a different combination of other notes as compared to what we are able to see. The current level is what actually even prompted for us to actually gear up with the current new notes that we are able to see. So if it continues to be in this case, then it also causes a number of worrying aspects, especially when it comes to the completion of the transaction cycle. The aspect of having 100 kwacha as a dominating component and the factor in the currency management system is currently worrying in the sense that it will not be able to complete the transaction cycle that is required to be seen from there. So maybe another aspect that we should also look at is the Bank of Zambia to actually upscale communication around this, so that they can actually engage the key stakeholders around issues of key features and many other aspects.
Inspector General of Police Graphiel Musamba has described the launch of the Strengthening Accountability of the Zambia Police Service and Ensuring Effective Security During Elections and Beyond program as timely, especially as the country prepares for the 2026 general elections. Speaking during the launch, Mr. Musamba emphasized that the initiative aligns with President Hakainde Hichileme's vision of a people-centered Zambia Police Service. He underscored the importance of enhancing accountability and integrity with the police service to help restore public confidence. Meanwhile, Swedish Ambassador to Zambia, Johan Hallenborg, welcomed the government's commitment to enact the public gathering bill before the 2026 general elections, noting that the program will be key to promoting peace during the electoral period.
As Zambia prepares to take to the polls in 2026 to elect a new president, concerns continue to grow over potential tensions between the ruling party and opposition groups, a recurring challenge during election period. These tensions often disrupt peace and stability in communities, highlighting the urgent need for measures that promote law and order. In response, the Zambia Police Service, in collaboration with the Southern African Center for Constructive Resolution of Disputes, SACOD, and DCAF, Geneva Center for Security Sector Governance, has launched a new initiative aimed at strengthening police accountability and ensuring effective security during elections and beyond. Speaking at the launch, Inspector General of Police Graphiel Musamba said the program is aligned with President Hakainde Hichileme's vision of a people-centered Zambia Police Service. He stressed the importance of improving transparency and integrity within the police service to restore public trust and ensure professional conduct, particularly during politically sensitive periods.
The Zambia Police Service particularly values the project's focus on fostering a human rights-based and people-centered model of policy, a model where the public assemblies are managed with strength and dignity, where complaints against police misconduct are handled seriously and transparently, and where officers are equipped, trained, and mentally prepared to manage complex electoral environments with impartiality and discipline. We are equally pleased that the project underscores the importance of community engagement and inclusivity.
Meanwhile, Swedish Ambassador to Zambia, Johan Hellenborg, commended the government's commitment to enacting the long-awaited public gatherings bill before the 2026 general elections. He noted that the initiative will be critical for maintaining peace and protecting democratic processes.
I'm very pleased that the government has expressed the intention to adopt the public gatherings bill before the next election. I welcome this commitment. Sweden will continue to support Zambia's efforts to uphold democratic principles, human rights and good governance. And this new program that we're launching here today, implemented by ECAF and ZACA, aligns with both Zambia's and Sweden's priorities. That is strengthening governance and democratic space through respect for the rule of law and human rights. This program includes providing skills and tools to plan and mitigate risks ahead of the elections. But it also includes developing operational and manpower plans and training and mid-level commanders on human rights compliant policing, as well as crisis management.
And DCAF Senior Manager Sophie Fredian also emphasized the need for ongoing policy reforms to build a more responsive and effective police service.
The program is expected to create a demand for police reform while ensuring that the police oversight complaint mechanisms are in place, accessible and effective. On that note, I would like to take the opportunity to acknowledge the attendance of key partners today that will play a critical role in the implementation and impact of the program: the Police Public Complaint Commission, the Human Rights Commission, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, the Zambia Law Development Commission, representatives of CSO, University of Zambia, and members of the media. This multi-stakeholder engagement approach adopted by the program further implied by all activity and events, including the launch today.
Chanda Mwango for Camnet News in Lusaka.
The Zambia Consumer Association, ZACA, is urging local authorities in CHONGWE to effect immediate measures to prevent the further spread of East Coast fever following an outbreak that has resulted in the death of at least 10 heads of cattle. The association has raised concern over reports that some residents may be considering consuming the carcasses of the infected animals, a practice it warns could endanger human health. ZACA Executive Secretary Juba Sakala says that the consuming of the meat from animals that have died from unknown or suspected diseases poses a serious public health risk. He explained that such meat could transmit dangerous pathogens to humans, potentially resulting in severe illness or even death.
We've received also troubling information that some residents in the affected areas may want to consume the carcasses of infected animals. This poses a threat or a serious public health risk, as consuming meat from infected or diseased animals can lead to severe illness or even death. We urge the local authorities in both CHONGWE and Lusaka district to take immediate action, given the geographical proximity between the two areas. There's also a genuine risk that the disease or these health impacts could spread further if this situation is not swiftly contained. As ZACA, we ask the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries, through its veterinary officers, to urgently conduct a community sensitization campaigns to warn the public against consuming meat from any animal that has died from unknown or suspected disease. The public must be clearly informed that no carcass should be consumed, and any suspicious livestock death should be reported to the nearest vet offices. We urge also traditional areas in the areas was ward councillors and community health committees to support this message and help in stopping the potential spread of this threat to human health and other livestock in the region. We know that some unscrupulous people may take advantage and try to transport these carcasses either to Lusaka where they could sell them without people noticing. But we urge the vet officers to be on standby and also to alert all butchery owners and probably do some inspection to those butchery owners to know where they're getting their carcasses to prevent this scourge. As an organization, we are committed to community health and safety, and ZACA remains available to support awareness, on raising activities and collaboration with vet officers and public officers in these areas and Lusaka as a whole.
Energy expert Leonard Sepe has called on power utility company ZESCO to increase electricity supply hours as Zambia enters the winter season, warning of potential health and safety risk associated with inadequate power. Speaking in an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Sepe expressed concern that many households are turning to unsafe alternatives such as braziers to keep warm, and option that poses serious risk, including carbon monoxide poisoning. He emphasized the need for ZESCO to prioritize residential areas in power distribution, especially during colder months, to prevent avoidable casualties and safeguard public health. Mr. Sepe urged ZESCO to take proactive measures in addressing the energy deficit to ensure a more reliable power supply during the winter period.
Considering the fact that we are now in the winter period, the temperatures have continued coming down, and the weather forecast, the Zambia Meteorological Department has encouraged the citizens to be wary of the weather that we are in. This is now where it becomes tricky and also challenging on the part of ZESCO as well as the consumers, because for the consumers, most of the consumers have been relying on charcoal as the alternative sources of energy in order to keep their homes warm, and especially for the young ones. But at the same time, this is now where ZESCO must come in to help its consumers by way of considering to extend the supply to members of the general public so that we reduce possible accidents that have been reported. ZESCO, I believe, will play a pivotal role in making sure that it supports its members of the general public by considering increasing the supply of power.
The Department of Immigration has denied claims that it is responsible for the delayed processing of study permits for international students at Eden University following recent protests by the affected learners. Immigration Chief Public Relations Officer Namati Shika clarified that the department has no backlog of pending student permit applications and processes all received applications promptly and efficiently. He explains that the delays reported are specific to students who opted to have Eden University submit their applications on their behalf. Mr. Shika noted that foreign students have two options when applying for study permits: either apply individually through their personal user accounts on the department's e-services platform, or have their learning institution submit the application on their behalf using the institutional user's account.
The Department of Immigration is aware through media reports of the ongoing protests by international students at Eden University. These protests are reportedly in response to what the students describe as delays in the processing of their study permits. We wish to categorically state that the Department of Immigration is not responsible for the reported delays being experienced. Unfortunately, there appears to be a misconception amongst the members of the public suggesting that the department has a role to play in the current situation at the institution. We find it necessary to clarify the matter and dispel any misinformation. Foreign students applying for study permits have two clear options. They may either submit their applications individually via their personal user accounts on our e-services platform, or opt to have the learning institution apply on their behalf through the institution's user account. It is important to emphasize and clarify that the Department of Immigration has no backlog of pending study permit applications. We process such applications promptly and efficiently. Our findings suggest that the delays being reported are specific to those students who opted to have Eden University submit applications on their behalf. For reasons unknown to the department, the institution appears to have delayed in lodging these applications. We urge all concerned parties to seek accurate information and to avoid attributing blame to the Department of Immigration where it is not due. We remain committed to serving all applicants in a timely and professional manner.
The National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, NACASE, has called on the government to establish a world-class national school exclusively dedicated to sports and the arts. The proposed institution would identify, nurture, and professionally develop Zambia's most talented young athletes and artists, offering them a structured environment to thrive outside the traditional academic model. NACASE Executive Director Aaron Chansa says Zambia has, since independence, lacked a formal platform to support learners gifted in sports and the creative arts. He notes that many such learners are often forced into conventional academic pathways, stifling their potential and limiting the country's ability to produce world-class talent in these fields.
Government establishes a national school exclusively for those learners that are talented in sport and arts. Since independence, Zambia has never accorded an enabling environment for those learners that are gifted in sports and also arts. And we think that this is an opportunity for government, for Zambia, to be the first country in Africa to establish a national school dedicated to identify talent, nurture talent, and make sure that our young people are given an opportunity to realize their full potential, are also given economic opportunities in order for them to become world-class sportsmen and women, and also pure artists. We think that with the introduction of a competence-based curriculum, this is an opportunity for us as a country to make sure that we begin to identify this talent, nurture it, and allow professionals and also industry experts to train intensively these young people in order for this country to maximally benefit from these talented young boys and girls.
The Advocate for National Development and Democracy, ANDD, is urging the government to empower local miners by fully utilizing the newly established Minerals Regulated Commission to fast-track the issuance of mining licenses to Zambian-owned enterprises. The organization believes this move will unlock significant opportunities for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, in the mining sector. ANDD Executive Director Samuel Banda says local participation in the mining value chain is essential if Zambians are to fully benefit from the country's abundant critical mineral resources. He emphasized that foreign mining investors should deliberately support local contractors and suppliers to promote inclusive and sustainable growth.
We are calling upon the government to utilize the newly established Mineral Regulation Commission to expedite the issuance of mining licenses to local mining entities. We further wish to aid the government to engage mining investors positively to ensure that small and medium-sized enterprises in the mining sector are granted meaningful business opportunities. As NDD, we hold a strong position that investors in the mining industry must prioritize the empowerment of local contractors and suppliers. We believe that this is essential if Zambians are to fully benefit from their vast reserves of strategic critical minerals. As NDD, we welcome the establishment of the Mineral Regulation Commission and strongly advocates for its effective and efficient use to enhance mining development in our country, create the much needed sustainable jobs, and open up business opportunities for Zambians. Mining remains the cornerstone of our national development, a cornerstone of our economy, contributing approximately 80% to our GDP, and its growth must inclusively benefit the local population. We believe that local SMEs play a very important role in driving socio-economic development through job creation and contributions to national revenue. Therefore, they must be prioritized when it comes to the awarding of supply and service contracts within the mining sector. Historically, we want to state, Zambian businesses have been marginalized as foreign investors have predominantly awarded contracts to external entities. Therefore, the establishment of the Mineral Regulation Commission presents a turning point, an opportunity to redress this imbalance and empower Zambians with quality employment and business prospects that will spur domestic economic growth.
You're watching the main news on Camnet TV, coming to you live on Top Search on 106, on Kenstream app, on Facebook, Camnet TV, and YouTube, Camnet TV. We now take our first set of commercials. I will be back with more news after the break. Keep watching.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa. Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We'll now continue with the news. A small-scale farmer in Kalumbila district is expected to record a bumper harvest of over 4,050 kilogram bags of maize during the 2024-2025 farming marketing season, thanks to the adoption of sustainable smart agriculture practices. Boni Kalota, 42 of Shimabila village in Chief Mumena's chiefdom, has cultivated more than 20 hectares of maize and other crops. Mr. Kalota shared his farming journey with the National Agriculture Information Services NAIS during a provincial field day held at his farm supported by Koteva Agri-Science. Speaking on behalf of Koteva Agri-Science Managing Director Samson Nyendwa, Sales Agronomy Manager Malango Musonda reaffirmed the company's commitment to supporting farmers with hybrid seed varieties.
Farmer in Karumbira district is making headlines for his remarkable strides in smart agriculture. Boni Kalota, also a Lukonda village headman, is being held as an inspiration to farmers across northwestern province. At just 42 years old, Boni Kalota of Shimavila area in Chief Mumena's chiefdom is leading by example in the adoption of sustainable agriculture. He has cultivated over 20 hectares of maize and other crops, expecting to harvest more than 4,000 bags of maize this season.
This year I've done it. That is 20 hectares of maize. I have 6 hectares of soybeans, then 2 hectares of beans, and even 1 hectare of popcorn, and even the garden. In this 20 hectares I have of maize, I'm expecting 4,000 bags of maize.
His farm has hosted the Provincial Field Day, supported by Koteva Agri-Science, drawing farmers from across the province who left inspired by his success.
What I've exactly seen and what I've so far heard, it is something that has paved my way exactly into farming than being in an office.
Koteva Agri-Science Managing Director Samson Nyendwa, who was represented by Sales Agronomy Manager Malango Msonda, praised continued support towards achieving the government's target of 10 million metric tons of maize by 2027.
And as Koteva Agri-Science, through our superior products, the Pioneer hybrid seeds, the Pana hybrid seeds, we are contributing to attaining the 10 million metric tons, and we want to assure the government and the farmers that we are together on this journey.
And officiating the field day, Northwestern Provincial Agriculture Coordinator Muyobo Shumabare announced that the Food Reserve Agency plans to buy 80,000 metric tons of maize for the province this marketing season.
Because of the drought, Food Reserve Agency only bought 41,000 metric tons. But this year, they are targeting to say, Mamboma Jima-san, we are ready to buy 80,000.
Kansanshi and Barik Lumwana Mine are also key players in developing the agriculture sector.
So this is just an example, but we have quite other more farmers that are doing what is doing here, and these are practicing conservation farming. As Kansanshi, this is why we're here, championing conservation agriculture, because we understand that is what is helping our farmers.
We have various programs that we undertake in the community through Lumwana Community Trust and as Lumwana Mine. It is good. We appreciate the exposure, and indeed we endeavor to try some of these initiatives.
And in a vote of thanks, Chief Mena of the Kaonde speaking people, who was represented by Batoni Arumeta, urged the government to ensure timely payment to farmers to help them prepare for the next farming season. Krivach Tuta, reporting in Karumbira District, Northwestern Province.
The Lusaka City Council, LCC, has disclosed that works on the Big Mama Market, located in Lusaka Central Business District, are nearing completion. The council says the project is at the advanced stage, with key activities such as partitioning of stores, wall plastering, electrical installations, and general site clearance currently underway. LCC Public Relations Manager Chola Mwamba says the modern market is being constructed under the Public-Private Partnership PPP arrangement with Kaudura Construction Limited and will accommodate up to 900 vendors once completed. She adds that the facility is equipped with an online payment system aimed at improving efficiency in
the construction of Big Mama Market is at an advanced stage, with partitioning of stores, plastering of walls, installation of electrical fittings, and surrounding clearance currently underway. This modern market, being built under a public-private partnership PPP with Kadura Construction Limited, will accommodate 900 vendors and features an online payment system for efficient revenue collection. The project aims to discourage street vending, promote orderly trading, and improve quality of life for traders in the city. Once completed, it will provide a conducive trading environment and enhance revenue collection for the local authority. The Big Mama Market was previously known as Munyaule Market. It was initially established as a temporary trading area in July 2017 for traders who had been displaced from the city market after a fire gutted the premises. Therefore, the development of Big Mama Market demonstrates government commitment to improving trading facilities and lives of the residents in the city. This construction is a strategic effort to provide modern infrastructure, and its completion is anxiously being awaited for by vendors. With its advanced facilities and large capacity, Big Mama Market is set to become a hub of commerce and economic activity in the city.
Mongu Municipal Council Town Clerk Oliver Muka, represented by Advocate Andrew Musumba, has urged residents of Nalikwanda and Mongu constituencies to actively participate in the ongoing review of the new Constituent Development Fund CDF guidelines. Speaking during a public engagement session, Mr. Musumba emphasized that community involvement and inclusive dialogue are fundamental pillars of development in a democratic nation. He noted that public input into the revised guidelines is crucial to shaping a final document that will enhance the effective implementation of CDF projects in Mongu district.
In an effort to obtain submissions on the revised CDF guidelines, Mongu Municipal Council held various stakeholders validation meetings to receive submissions on the draft CDF guidelines in Nalikwanda and Mongu constituencies. Mongu Municipal Town Clerk Oliver Muka, who was represented by Advocate Andrew Musumba, appreciated the members for actively participate and make critical submission which will contribute to a meaningful to the final document that will enhance CDF implementation in the country.
We are all aware that the government has repealed the CDF Act of 2018 and replaced it with the CDF Act number 1 of 2024. That being the case, there is need to implement the CDF Act of 2024. This underscores the importance of ensuring that all voices are heard and incorporated into the final document that we are looking at today. Therefore, all are implored to participate freely and make a contributions.
And representing other participants, Mondia Nasrele and Prince Mayamba thanked government for the gesture.
For all WDCs, how do they keep these application forms? How do they manage their documentation in the paperwork? Where do they meet? And it is provided for under this decentralization that there should be an office for WDCs to be established in every ward. And that is very critical and pertinent to begin with development.
And in his closing remarks, Mongu District Administrative Officer Kabisasi Upa thanked the stakeholders for making viable submissions.
These guidelines will only be but one of the main documents if they are not carefully utilized. The input of these men and women who chose to leave their work for the whole day to come and spend it here will be but in vain. But that we have been able to go through it and make submissions is a commendable job. As we have been requested, please let us not tire. This is our only chance to perfect this document.
The CDF guidelines provide a comprehensive framework for the management, disbursement, utilization and accountability of the CDF. Musia Wakabira, Camnet News, Mongu District, Western Province.
When I take our final break, I will be back with some international stories as well as sports news.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, downlights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. And now for the rest of the news. In international news, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa is scheduled to arrive in the United States on Monday morning for a working visit that will culminate in a high-level meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday. President Ramaphosa departed South Africa on Sunday night, embarking on the trip at a time of heightened diplomatic tensions between the two nations. Relations have been strained in recent months, particularly following comments by President Trump in February, in which he accused South Africa of forcibly seizing land from white farmers under its land policy. Despite comprising only 7% of the population, white South Africans reportedly control more than 70% of the land. Here is a roundup of international news.
President Cyril Ramaphosa was due to arrive in the U.S. capital on Monday morning for a working visit that will culminate in a meeting with his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump on Wednesday. Ramaphosa departed South Africa on Sunday night. He's accompanied by his ministers of Foreign Affairs, Agriculture, State Security and Trade, South Africa's public broadcaster SABC reported. The trip comes after months of strained relations. In February, Trump accused South Africa of seizing land belonging to white farmers under its land expropriation law. He also claimed without evidence that a genocide of white Afrikaner speakers was taking place in South Africa. He then sanctioned the country, cutting millions of dollars in aid. South Africa has denied the accusations. White South Africans own more than 70% of the land, despite making up just 7% of the population. A notorious genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice has also riled Trump. Issues including trade and tariffs, Ukraine, Gaza and G20 are expected to top the agenda of Wednesday's meeting. South Africa holds the rotating presidency of the G20 with the US as the next chair. Trump has threatened not to travel to South Africa for the leaders' summit.
After a nearly 3-month-long blockade on humanitarian aid in Gaza, Israel says it will allow a basic amount of food into the enclave, this in a bid to avoid a starvation crisis. The announcement came as Israel expanded new ground operations under the name of Gideon's Chariots in Gaza. Benjamin Netanyahu says his cabinet was acting at the recommendation of the IDF to prevent a food crisis which they say would endanger their offensive. As we promised, we have launched a powerful campaign against Hamas, Gideon's Chariots. IDF forces are entering with force into the Gaza Strip with a dual goal, defeating Hamas and freeing our hostages, two goals that are intertwined, and we will achieve both. Authorities estimate that nearly 500,000 Palestinians in Gaza are already living in catastrophic levels of hunger and face possible starvation. Food security experts had warned that Gaza will likely fall into famine if Israel doesn't lift its blockade and stop its military campaign. Martha Karua, a lawyer and presidential candidate in Kenya, given the boot from Tanzania. The former justice minister in Kenya says she was expelled from Tanzania, where she had been due to attend the trial of a prominent opposition figure facing treason charges. Karua has dubbed the move a sign that Tanzanian authorities would not give a fair trial to Chadema Party leader Tundu Lissu. Lissu, who Karua says is the main challenger to Tanzania's president, Samia Hassan, could be facing the death penalty for his alleged crimes. Lissu's Chadema Party has been disqualified from presidential and legislative elections due in October after it refused to sign an electoral code of conduct. Karua says Tanzania is seeing a total erosion of democratic principles.
Princesses upon their arrival at Kenneth Calendar International Airport following their victory at the 2025 Under-17 COSAFA Championship. The team's impressive win marks a significant milestone as it is the first trophy secured under Mr. MWEEMBA's leadership since assuming office as vice president. The celebratory reception reflected the nation's pride in the young team's achievement and the association's commitment to nurturing talent and promoting women's football in Zambia.
Just keep fighting. One more is up to life. Last year we went to Dominican Republic. Okay, we could have done better, but I know that we have got a lot of trust in you, a lot of confidence in you. So leave all administrative issues. We are very proud of you, and I'm giving you my word that you will be very happy. You can clap for yourselves again. We don't want to be going for competitions just to, for tournaments, to go and just participate. We have to go and what? Compete. We have to go and do what? Compete. You have the capacity to become champions. Do you know that? Yes. It all begins in the mind. Aye. Yeah. It all starts in the what? Mind. In the mind. Good age group. You are growing up at the same time. We want to keep this team. Kenel, we have to keep these players. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. 4 years from now, if you keep this team, I can assure you, it doesn't matter whether a team is from Europe. If you keep these players and if we take care of them, the sky is the limit. It's about understanding football. So let's take care of them, nurture this talent properly. Let's give all the support that the technical bench requires. Adequate preparation, then you can never go wrong. Once a technique is fully developed, tactics come in, then you're home and dry. You just give them adequate support, the technical bench, preparations on time, all the time. Everything It must be meticulous.
Congratulations to the Copper Princesses. Remember, you have been watching us live on Topstar Channel 106, on Kenstream app, on Facebook, Camnet TV, as well as on our YouTube channel, Camnet TV. We've now come to the end of our main news tonight. Here's a recap of the stories making headlines. Economist urges timely release of new 100 kwacha notes. Energy expert urges ZESCO to increase power supply during winter. ZACA warns against consuming infected meat as East Coast fever kills cattle in Chongwe. In international news, President Ramaphosa embarks on U.S. visit amid diplomatic tensions. And in sports news, Vice President Keith MWEEMBA welcomes under-17 COSAFA champions. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of Isaiah 10, verse 1 to 2. Bow unto them that decrease unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. That's it for the news tonight. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Thank you so much for watching. Good night, and God bless you all.
Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, media news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In Forgotten Stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.